darlings, it is us again. So, before your screen, we have a father who is accused of starving his 4-year-old son to the afterlife. This is a trial underway in Texas for Brandon Lee Cervera, who is accused of starving his young son, which led to him passing on in 2021, the young boy. Texas man is facing a jury trial to determine whether he is or isn't responsible for the starving passing on of his 4-year-old son in 2021, according to Texas Public Radio. And this is an article that came out in People magazine. According to Texas Public Radio, KSAT, CBS Austin, and KENS 5, prosecutors from the Bexar County DA's office allege that Mr. Cervera, 31 years old, and his then wife, Miranda Casares, starved Cervera's son, Benjamin, to the afterlife on the 17th of August 2021. His trial, the dad's trial, Mr. Cervera's trial, began just this year, Tuesday, September 24th, which is more than 3 years after the son had died in a San Antonio hospital. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office later ruled that the cause of death for the child was starvation. And according to a press release issued by the DA's office in May 2022, this was when the dad, Cervera, Mr. Cervera, was indicted. He faced a charge of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury. Fast forward to Wednesday, September 25th, jurors heard September 25th, 2024, jurors actually heard testimony from the San Antonio police officer who, I guess he was the one who responded to a call to Mr. Cervera's home in 2021 for a welfare check. The name of the police officer is Omar Perez. The police officer said that the child, Benjamin, had visible injuries and that he also had bruises on his eyes and torso, and he was skinny where you can actually see his bones. The father, Mr. Cervera, disputed these claims, claiming that the child actually had behavioral issues which caused him to injure himself, resulting in the bruising. Further, his defense attorney, Jody Sawyers, argued during her opening statement that the boy was always small. He was always small in stature, and that claims by the doctors, she continues, the defense attorney continues to claim that the doctors did not raise concerns about the boy's health in the days leading up to his death. Was he actually brought to the doctor for, why was he at the doctor? Just a regular checkup? Or, was he actually brought to the doctor's office though? Any doctor worth their salt, any true doctors would actually document, what they see, what they can physically see, and subsequent lab work, right? That if there were any done on the child, because again, the defense attorney is claiming that the doctors didn't raise any concerns about the health of this child. She further alleges that the kid was not starved or dehydrated, and that this will be proven in scientific evidence. Per the prosecutors of the case, they showed the jurors images of the child's body during the medical examiner's testimony, illustrating how underweight and malnourished the child was. That is significant. If the child is malnourished and underweight, that is very significant. If the child, as they claim, has behavioral issues, then that should be well documented by, behavioral physicians, right? Therapists and such things. The medical examiner also backed up Perez's claims, uh, Omar Perez, the police officer who responded to the welfare check on the child, about bruising on the child's body, testifying that she also found bruises during the autopsy. Um, the medical examiner, Kimberly Molina, said that the child died of starvation and the death is ruled a homicide. This is her findings. He also appeared to be underweight and small for his age. Um, she further said that the child weighed 28 pounds at the time of his death. He was 4 years old? 28 pounds? Whoa. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. And photos shown his ribs were visible through his chest. Goodness gracious. Additionally, pediatrician James Lukifar, who treated Benjamin in San Antonio Hospital, where he was declared dead, testified that he was underweight for his age and said that he agreed with the medical examiner's ruling that the cause of death was starvation. Further, per a pediatrician, James Lukifar, in my opinion, quote, in my opinion, there was substantial evidence that the child had been the victim of starvation leading up to his death. Jeez, that's... In April 2023, still on the report, Benjamin's stepmother, Benjamin is the name of the child, the stepmother apparently was convicted of the same charge of injury to a child, causing serious bodily injury, and sentenced to 25 years in prison, per Texas Public Radio, KENS 5, and CBS Austin. And during the stepmom's trial, prosecutors showed the jury photos of the family's refrigerator and Benjamin, the child who passed, his bedroom door, both of which were locked with padlocks. I'm sorry, you're padlocking the refrigerator and you're padlocking the child's bedroom, presumably with the child inside. How do you think the child would not starve? My gosh, this is diabolical. Also, during the trial of the stepmom, Benjamin's older brother, identified only as their initials in court documents, testified that their stepmother abused the child who has passed on and forced him to eat hot sauce and hand sanitizer, and also threw his body in the air without catching him. Oh my goodness. Also, additionally, videos were seized from the stepmom's cell phone during the investigation that showed footage of the now deceased child shaking and crying as he begged for bread. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is reminiscent of this really horrible news of this child from I think it was LA County or something, where he had like siblings in the home. He lived with his mom and his mom's boyfriend, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony, I believe the first name of the child is. He's passed on, but the horrifying abuse that he lived through, that he ultimately passed on from, it's just like I mean, his mother was complicit in the crime, in perpetrating this crime against Anthony, and this one, the father is complicit in perpetrating the alleged crimes against the child. But it's like, sir, if you're living in the home, what the hell? What in the heck? Seriously. I really don't know. This, like, you know, what goes on in the psyche of these people. And it's like, this is your child. The father faces a maximum sentence of 99 years in prison and a $10,000 fine if convicted, per the DA's office. Sir, I I have no words. I have no words to do this to your own child or to be complicit in harming your own child. I wow. And I'm glad that the um, stepmom is already locked up for something similar, or I think it's for the same, but the dad's trial is a separate trial. Um, yeah, I don't really understand it. I guess I'll never understand it. I mean, the child was the most. Children are the most vulnerable, besides elderly, right? Besides the disabled. Um, it's just that they have no capacity to feed themselves or um, fend for themselves, and in the way that this child is treated is just it's horrible by by the guardians and or the parents that are supposed to be their number one protectors. Wow, my goodness, my goodness. I'm sorry, but not really sorry. But sir, 99 years, facing maximum 99 years in prison. I do hope the district attorney's office is able to get him the maximum sentence of 99 years in prison. It's just that's horrible, just horrible to do to your own child. Anywho, darlings, let's remember to try to leave grace for others. And there's, I know, opportunities for us to forget that. And I hope for, Mr. Sir on the screen, and I'm loosely using that term, Mr. Sir. I hope that in time he sees the folly of his ways. I do. I really do. And his ex-wife too, or what have you. And I hope for the children that were living with them in the home. I hope that they are able to get therapy and be able to heal from this trauma. Because if they had seen it, they likely were feeling like they had to defend themselves to maybe not speak up because they didn't want the harm on their person and what have you. So please remember to try and be kind to each other and to lift up each other in your prayers and to be grateful for the journey and to remember to always be kind to yourselves because you are all kinds of fabulous. All right, darling dears, that's all we have for that one. We shall talk, or I shall talk to you later. All right, toodaloo for now. Bye.